Okay, I'd like to go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to welcome everybody that has come on. I'm sure that others that will be coming on. Um, I just wanted to go ahead and explain again the purpose of this series is to assist our juniors and seniors and even interested students in moving forward, either in careers or jobs, college. We really want to promote the community college because the community college has so many good programs that they can get involved in. And we want to target our parents. So, Ms. Gillis, thank you for chiming in. And so in February, we started a series, a career readiness preparation program, and we offered Dress for Success, resume writing, and we have several topics that we're going to be covering, and we'll be putting that next week. We'll be announcing what we'll be talking about. But I want to go ahead and introduce our partners. We have awesome partners that's working with us as we reach our students, even though we want to encourage them that yes, COVID-19 is moving us, pushing us forward. So we want to make sure that everybody is still looking to the future. I know that sometimes you feel doom and gloom because of this, but we want you to look to the future, look ahead. So at this time, first, again, I'm Cynthia Chambers. I am the CTE coordinator with Brunswick High School and Brunswick Brunswick Public County Schools. I'm also the I also teach early childhood education also. Also, we have um, Ms. Sparkle Lee. Ms. Sparkle Lee is an alumni of Brunswick High School. She graduated in 2004, and she is also a teacher at Brunswick High School. She did teach math. Now she is working with our GED students and doing a phenomenal job with them. Next, we have Ms. Kaylee Mize. Ms. Kaylee Mize actually came to me and offered assistance in working with our students, and she works with the Virginia Cooperative Extension. We have Nzinga Williams. Nzinga Williams is also an alumni of Brunswick High School. She graduated in 2005, and she is the CTE director at Piedmont Community College in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have Rangina Smithers, who has been working with us. She works with Southside Community Services Board, and she has been a great supporter of our program. We also have Pam Taylor, which is not on the line, also have been working with us, and John Hickson. So these are the staff of the Southside Virginia Community College. And so with no further ado, I would like to go ahead and I ask that you keep your mics mute. Again, if you have questions, you can type them in the chat, or you can, we will open up the mics for questions at the end. Okay? So Nzinga Williams, you could go ahead and take it away.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to share my screen so you can see my presentation. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So good morning again, everybody. And I just want to say thanks for having me. Like my mom mentioned, my name is Nzinga, and I am an alumni of Brunswick High School. Shout out to class of 2005. And I also graduated from NC State in 2008. And I'm currently working on my doctorate in adult and community college leadership at NC State. And I serve as a career and technical education coordinator at Central Piedmont Community College here in Charlotte, North Carolina. My role at Central Piedmont as a CTE coordinator, I spend a lot of time with high school students and really discussing community college, career and technical education, and the pathways that we offer at the community college that really fit what they're doing in high school. Really explaining the benefits of using what you've learned in the classroom at high school in your CTE classes and transferring that into your program of study or your degree, diploma, certificate at the community college. And so my hope is that this presentation is informative and it gives you some things to think about. If you're a parent on the webinar, it gives you some conversations to have with your student. as you're making your higher educational decisions. Um, Personally, there's a lot that I wish I knew before I started my higher education journey. I did benefit a lot from the community college, which is why I think that I was as successful as I was my quote unquote freshman year at NC State. But there are a lot of things that I did not know that I wish I knew, and some of that I will share on this webinar. But hopefully, this presentation will give you the tools to become, as a student, your own advocate, and also as a parent, an advocate for your student, but also it helps you become a better decision maker. I'm a firm believer that the more you know, the better the decision you can make that best fits your goals and your plans. So I'm sure that everyone has heard this statement or said this statement to somebody, but we always don't understand the weight that comes with you should go to college. Going to college is more than just choosing and getting accepted into the college that you want. So, in this 21st century, it is really important that we think about not just the college we get into, the acceptance letter, but also the long term. What happens after college? Questions that we should be asking ourselves, asking our students when we even make the statement, you should go to college. How does this benefit me financially? Can I afford to go to college? Um, can I afford college? And if I can, what can I afford? And I'll talk about how community college affords everyone the opportunity to really be able to pay for college out of pocket if you can't necessarily get a loan. Does the institution that I'm looking at offer the programs that will lead to a lasting, sustainable career? It is important to remember that the term college, the term higher education does not always equal a four-year institution, but it does mean all the things that fall under post-secondary education, which are your degrees, your diplomas, and your certificates, your industry certifications, as well as higher education. So let's talk about costs. These are national averages. The national average per year for a private institution. If you are going to a public institution and you are considered in-state, so in Virginia, our in-state institutions are Virginia State University, Norfolk State is a public institution. Those institutions that are public, as an in-state student, you would pay average, depending on nationally, $9,000. And then if you're going out of state, so for me, I graduated from Brunswick, from Virginia, but I went out of state to North Carolina State University, so I had to pay out of state tuition. And this is per year, so that adds up over time. And it's often, a lot of times we hear, "Oh, I got a scholarship." It's good that you got a scholarship, but does that scholarship cover the entire gamut of what it's going to cost for you to go to that institution? Housing. A lot of times, the scholarship only covers tuition. That doesn't include fees or parking fees. That doesn't include books. That doesn't include where you're going to live, if you're going to live on campus or off campus. It doesn't include food. So yeah, you got a scholarship, but is that going to cover everything that you have to pay for? One of the good things about community college is that the average for community college nationally is about 3,900. Community colleges are a lot less, and many of your community colleges have locked tuition. So, for example, in North Carolina, we can't just decide as Central Piedmont Community College that we're going to raise tuition every year. Our state legislators won't let us do that. By law, we have to ask to raise tuition, and it has to pass. And all of our institutions cost the same thing. In North Carolina, we have 58 community colleges, and you can go to each one and you're going to pay the same amount. And so that in itself, just by having a locked tuition, that benefits the student, right? Here in North Carolina, I think it costs about $1,500 per year to complete a tuition. And so we often or complete a degree. And so we often tell our students, you can come to Central Piedmont Community College or any of our other institutions and get a 2-year degree for about $3,900 over 2 years. And it benefits the student. So I would say one of the first benefit of attending a community college is the cost of attending a community college. And then not to mention all the other things that come with that. So higher education in itself is a lot. there's a huge learning curve, and at times it can be very overwhelming, especially for fresh out of high school, graduating, freshman year, stepping on the college campus. It can be a lot. And so using the community college is kind of like that transition year, those transition times, and help you grow in maturity could benefit you. For example, in the higher education lingo, um, there are a lot of terms that we use in higher ed, such as Pell Grant, withdrawal, tuition, credit per hour. What does all that mean? For a high school student, I don't know. I didn't have to know what per credit hour was. I didn't have to know that I was paying out of my money per credit hour. And so going to community college kind of helps you learn the language so that you know how to navigate the terrain a lot better. It also helps you get a good pace. So community colleges allow you to adjust to college life. You are able to set your own pace, get a good pace, work yourself a little bit better. Are you able to do work and go to school? You'll learn about yourself. Are you a self-starter? Are you motivated? Are you determined? Like all those things that you don't necessarily, a little bit about yourself in high school, but when you are on your own as an adult per se, you learn more of that. And so you get to develop other skills to help you be more successful. And then also helps you with socializing. In college, I met a lot of different people that I never would have met had I not gone to college. And so community college allows you to kind of make that adjustment. You're encountering people that you've never encountered before. You learn how to talk to people. You learn how to appreciate other people's cultures and upbringings. And so I believe that community college helps you do that in a smaller setting versus a larger setting sometimes at universities, which I really appreciate at NC State. But sometimes it can be overwhelming if it's not something you're used to. I can't stress enough the ability to advocate for yourself. It is a must. It is a skill that you have to have as an adult in life, period. But being able to take that step from college to community college kind of helps you nurture that skill a little bit better for you to advocate for yourself. For example, there is a federal law called FERPA that colleges, institutions, 4 years, community colleges, we are not allowed to discuss with parents what a student is doing in the classroom. So when your child becomes a college student, they are their grades are theirs. What they're doing in class is theirs unless you sign a form or they give you permission to look at their grades. I'll never forget when my mom heard about this our freshman year. She looked at me, she was like, "You're going to give me your grades." Me as a student, okay. And Zynga, absolutely, I'm fine. But some students may not want to do that, but can they still advocate for themselves if a teacher gives them the wrong points, or their grade doesn't look a certain way, or the school charges them more money than they should? So advocating for yourself is a skill that you can develop, and again, at a smaller setting, is very beneficial. And then lastly, under the umbrella of maturity, academic flexibility and school life balance. So, we know nationally from, research and other things that most of community college students have to work. Most of us, I had to work when I was in college. My mom was a single mother. She was helping me in some places, but there were other areas that she couldn't help me. So I had to get a job. And so community college allows you to have that work-life balance. Can you do it at a 4-year? Absolutely. But I believe that at a community college, there are, some more systematic and built-in supports that allow a student to really have the academic flexibility and that school life balance. They have weekend classes, they have night classes, because they serve adult learners. Their population is all over the age group, versus sometimes your 4-year institutions, they're just used to serving that fresh out of high school student. So they may not have those flexibilities that you need if you have to work and do, or have kids, or whatever the case may be. Just want to stress the importance of connection to industry. So this is my wheelhouse. I am a CTE coordinator, and so I am everything career and technical education. Whether you are going to a 2-year or a 4-year CTE, industry, recognizing the importance of industry connections should be part of your higher ed college post-secondary journey. The great thing about community colleges, they have more than 2/3 of the STEM-related programs at community colleges. So I'm talking about your engineering classes, your advanced manufacturing, your automotive classes. A lot of your community colleges have those programs. And not to mention, they have strong partnerships, amazing partnerships with industry, hospitals. Here in North Carolina, and I'm sure it's the same thing in Virginia, hospitals are constantly knocking on our door for CNAs, for nursing, for pharmaceutical techs, for surgical techs. They need workers. And so we have that direct connection to them. Banks, we have a lot of programs where students do classwork and then they go work at a bank like Bank of America or Wells Fargo, as well as advanced manufacturing companies. Those industries are what I call high demand industries. And so that means that you don't necessarily have to have a 4-year degree to go work for them and to make a good salary. You can have a certification, a 2-year degree, and make good money. An example I'll use here is, in North Carolina, we have a company named Corning. They are an engineering company. They hire our students with just a 2-year degree. Those students make about $70,000 a year, right? And there are a lot of companies like that in Virginia. You all have Microsoft there in, I think it's South Brunswick or Boone or Bracy. Somebody can correct me. Boynton, thank you. You have Microsoft, you have VCU Hospital right there on Route 1. And so, hospitals need workers. Microsoft, they have jobs that you don't have to have a 4-year degree. Cybersecurity, all those things. Software analysts, your community colleges offer those programs. And a lot of times, like I said before, have those direct connection. Yes, and Ms. Chambers mentioned Dominion Power. They're another one. They offer those industry, those high demand jobs, and your community college definitely has those certifications. Another benefit of the community college is transfer. So we know about this a lot, I think more than than your CTE programs or your technical degrees, because a lot of students do use the community college as transfer. But students can transfer from the community college to a 4-year institution. It's important to note that a lot of times those students that transfer do a better job than the students that go in straight out freshmen, because you've been acclimated to college work, you know how to handle college life, all the things that come with being a college student, not just in the classroom, talking about outside the classroom. And so you excel better and you graduate from the 4-year institution that you want to. Many colleges and community colleges have what we call articulation agreements or admission agreements, meaning they will accept credits that you get at the community college to your 4-year institution. Often those articulation agreements or admission agreements are with your public institutions. When you start talking about your private colleges, it gets a little tricky. But typically there's a seamless transition when you talk about a community college and a public institution. So for example, Southside Community College and UVA. UVA is a public institution, transferring those things over there, or Southside and what's another, trying to think of another, Virginia State University. So usually those credits transfer a lot better. But again, the thing here is we encourage students to, if you're going to do the community college and transfer, complete the transfer degree. Some students go for a year, they get a few credits, and they transfer over. And that does not always benefit the student in the long run. If you're going to do the community college transfer program, complete the transfer degree, however many hours it is. Here in North Carolina, it's a total of, I believe, like 64 to 68 hours. And so we encourage students to complete all of the hours, so the entire degree goes with them to that 4-year institution. And then that way you do not leave any credits on the table, because any credits you leave on the table, that's money, right? I use another example here, personal example. So I did classes at Southside, and again, back to what I did not know, I decided I was going to go to NC State. And I had a lot of dual enrollment credits, and we'll talk about dual enrollment at the end, especially for the ninth graders and 10th and 11th graders. But I had a lot of credits coming from Brunswick, and I was going to NC State because NC State was an out-of-state school. Some of my classes transferred, so like my gen ed classes, my Englishes, my maths, my sciences. So I didn't have to take any English, math, or science when I got to NC State. They were all done. I could jump straight into my core classes. However, I left 18 credit hours on the table. Okay. And for all of my people on the call that have gone to college, you know what 18 credit hours means. That is a lot. That equates to a lot of dollars that I left on the table. And so you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you know what classes will transfer. You want to complete the entire degree. And you want to make sure you choose an institution that those credits are accepted at. I can't talk about this more. You save a lot of money here. And then you also have a lot of financial aid. Community colleges usually have the backing of their community, right? So you have a lot of philanthropic partners. People come in saying, hey, we want to start a scholarship through the community college. And they have a lot of scholarships often sitting on the table that students don't apply for. And so you can go to college at a community college, get a 2-year degree, a diploma, a certificate in a high demand field, and you don't pay anything. And it covers your entire tuition. There are some community colleges that don't accept loans. They won't allow you, they don't give loans in their financial aid department. You may have to take out a private loan, but they don't give loans. And so that saves the student as well, because adding on debt, adding on loans for college can also be a heavy weight that you carry. And so you also have the option a lot of times at community college to pay as you go. Some colleges have payment plans, and so it makes it a little bit more easier to budget and to plan so that you can maximize your dollar when it comes to the education that you want. Again, I'll repeat about the scholarships. Here in Charlotte, we have a lot of scholarships for students, and we are yelling at them, hey, apply for these scholarships, come to our institution. But a lot of times, because of the stigma of community college, they choose not to, and they leave money on the table. And unfortunately, by the time they figure it out and they come back to us, the scholarship is gone. And so I encourage you, as a senior, as a parent, do your research when it comes to the scholarships, especially at the community college, because they tend to have a lot of scholarships for their students. The resources at the community college, that's another benefit. Smaller classes, personalized attention. I have the honor and privilege this year of teaching 2 classes myself at the community college. And, the resources that I'm able to give to my students, I know for sure I didn't get that all the time at the 4-year. I did sometimes, but not all the times. And you find at the community college, a lot of your teachers, your professors, because they also work in the industry, and they know exactly what you need to be successful in a certain career in the industry. They give you a lot of help. Community colleges do have extracurricular activities. There are some community colleges around the U.S., they have residence halls, dormitories. So that, that's a thing. You also have great networking activities, networking with industry, networking with community partners, just networking, period. And then the online class options. We have a lot of online classes. Some of our programs, or some programs at the community college, you can complete the whole degree online. You never have to go into the classroom if you don't want to. And so that is a benefit for students who do well in an online setting. So this is for our freshmen, our sophomores, and our juniors at high schools. Dual enrollment is very, very beneficial. You can earn college credit while you're in high school. Sometimes you can earn an industry credential or certification, and you get a jump start on your college education. Like I mentioned before, an example I gave earlier, I took a lot of credits with me to NC State. I took classes at Southside, and I was able to take a lot of credits with me to NC State. And I also knew myself, y'all. So like, yeah, I got A's, but I did not like math and I did not like science. So I knew that when I got to college, that was going to be a weak link for me. So I decided to take him to high school with a teacher I knew, get those college credits, and get that out the way. That was just my personality. I did not like math and science. I did not have the discipline for it. And so I was like, let me go ahead and get this out the way. And that's some of the benefits of dual enrollment. If your student knows themselves, or you as a parent knows your student, go ahead and knock out those gen ed classes in high school so they don't have to take them in college. All right. And it benefits them, because what you want is the credit, right? The grade, C or better, but you want the credit to transfer. So taking dual enrollment classes, it also allows you to get some experience. So and explore a little bit in high school. So if you know that you're interested in engineering, engineering is one of those fields that I hear students talk a lot about, and it's very, very broad. I mean, there are jobs at the 4-year level, 2-year. I mean, engineering is very big. But in high school, if you take a dual enrollment class, you can take a college engineering class, and as a student, you can decide whether or not it's for you or not. I cannot tell you, when I was so NC State is known for their engineering program. So many people that came in with me my freshman year, they'd never taken an engineering class and decided that was going to be their major. They took one class and they were like, this is not for me, and that was a wasted semester. Why not try it in high school and know from the beginning, you know what, engineering is not for me, or you affirm that engineering is for you. And so those are just some of the benefits as well of doing dual enrollment while in high school. So I'm going to wrap up, and I hope that it was very informative. As it was mentioned earlier, I know 2020 has been something else. It's been very interesting, and for the senior class of 2020, no other class will be able to say that they had the experiences that you all had this year. And I definitely feel you all when you get the disappointing news that you may not have a graduation this year, you may not be able to walk across the stage. That is something to be upset about, and I get it. I would be upset as well. But don't let that discourage you from planning, right? There's life after COVID-19. There is life after 2020. The hope is that you use this time to plan for your future, and plan for it wisely. Be smart, be strategic, and be very intentional about the goals that you have for yourself. And I also want to remind you to let community college be a part of your plan. I mentioned earlier that there is a stigma attached to the community college. Trust me, I know. But I'm here to tell you that it's a lie. In this 21st century of higher education, of the job market, labor market, community college is a way to go. And a lot of times it benefits the student more to get an industry degree, diploma, or certificate from a community college than going to a four-year institution and majoring in any major. And I can say that because I majored in psychology and criminology. Yeah, I had fun. I learned a lot, but it was very hard for me to get a job with just a psychology degree if I wasn't going to a doctorate level or just a criminology degree. So it's important to keep that in mind. So that is all that I have. Are there any questions, comments?
Yes, Nzinga, I would like to say that this is very good. That we would really like to continue this, do it again, because I have got some texts from some students that they wanted to, but they were on other Zoom calls. So we will. I think that this was good. Miss Smithers, you have anything to say? Because Miss Smithers thing, I don't know if y'all hadn't met, but she has been helping us. She works at the community college, as I stated before, and so I think that this was really geared toward a high school student and the parent. We want to get more parents on next time. Miss Gillis, thank you for being on. Miss Gillis is on. So that's all that I have to say at this time. Is anyone else have anything that they would like to say? Any comments?
I just want to say,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh, fine. I just want to say ditto to everything that Nzinga shared. I'm working as a recruiter at Southside Virginia Community College, and everything that she said, even though she works at the North Carolina system, or with the North Carolina system, we follow the same practices here in Virginia. We have the same method of operation when it comes to our tuition and fees. It's usually the same across all of our 23 community colleges. It is a great place to start and get your footing in education to prepare for whatever career choice you have. And just piggybacking on being able to pursue those careers that don't necessarily require that 4-year degree, you can definitely get training and get industry recognized credentials while pursuing an education at a community college and be able to go to work and make a great wage. So it's an awesome place to start. At Southside, our buildings are closed, but we are working remotely. So we are very willing to assist any students that have any questions about what they need to do regarding their admissions process, or want to explore what programs best fit their future working careers. So thank you, Ms. Williams, for providing such a great presentation today.
Mhm.
And thank you, Ms. Chambers, for offering a great session to the students.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Smithers. Thank you, Ms. Williams. And thank you, Ms. Mize and Ms. Lee, for all of y'all partnering with us as we help our students to move forward beyond COVID-19. So we're going to go ahead and end our meeting unless someone else was getting ready to say something. Was it Ms. Mize?
Yeah, it was, and I was just gonna say ditto to everything again, like Miss Smithers was saying.
Mhm.
Miss Smithers was saying. But I just want to point out that even though you go to community college, I mean, you can definitely, most definitely, you can get a degree in technical education, welding, or certificate, whatever have you. But you can decide if college is for you, so you can go and get your associate, or I mean, you can do it and then you can go to college. So Virginia Tech is also another college um, that works closely with the community college program. Um, and so a lot of the people, when I went to school, there was a lot of people that came from that program that studied, I don't even know what they studied at community college, but they studied something and then they got an associate's degree and then they came to tech. So they had something, they kept the grades up, mind you, so that they could get into tech. But I mean, it's a great opportunity and I very much support it. So good
Okay.
job.
So, Ms. Williams, when you do this, because I'm sure you're going to do it for all the high school students in North Carolina, please let us know because we're going to work together to get more students involved and parents. Because this is a national message. Um, and so, as Ms. Smith has said, we're all doing the same thing here in Virginia. So we look forward to you getting us that information. And if there's not any more questions or comments, we're going to go ahead and end this meeting. Okay.
I just wanted to say thank you for everybody for the feedback, and I definitely think that it is a national conversation that's happening, and so I mean, the more students we can talk to, the better, and the more successful they'll be with their futures, and that is the ultimate goal.
Thank you so much. And so everyone have a great day, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.